You are writing a paper for 1 hour, 30 minutes. A paper for 1 hour. The pen will be in your mouth. Imagine the people who shade. So you put pencil in his mouth and shade section A. 2024. Whilst this guy can just read the question and tell the teacher that number 1 is A, number 2 is B, number 3 is C. He will put pencil in his mouth and shade section A. Or you cramine. The 2024 BECE is still on. The whole of this week is for the BECE candidates. Yes, all the best to all the students who are participating. I think today they are writing science and either ICT or whatnot. Yesterday, we did a story here where a report from TV3 in the North Tongu or South Tongu district, some students were not allowed to wear belts or shoes to the exam hall. And it was a directive from the GS according to school officials' report. And we spoke to some people on the grounds in Accra or around the areas. And some schools here, as they are not doing that. They have no idea about the no belt and then the sandals thing. So I want to know, is it working in some districts and it's not working in some districts, or it is regional basis because it's a directive to curb examination more practices? Does it mean that in the Volta region, they are copying more, so the directive only works there? Or in the greater Accra region is not working? Because some schools, we spoke to some people on the grounds, and then they said, we spoke to some teachers actually, they said their schools, nothing of that sort is being practiced. But day 2 of the BECE, there's a story ongoing. Yesterday, a guy, a physically challenged individual, before I even go to that, if you go to the Setri Afram Plains, let me get this right, the Setri Afram Plains, yes, they use drones to export some of the examination papers to the students to places that they find it difficult to reach. Because, you know, when they are writing BECE, most of the schools, they meet at a center and then they all write. According to reports, some people would have to cross about 2 or 3 rivers before they get to the center. And there's a rain. We are in the rainy season. The rain is worrying. So they use drones to fly the examination scripts to some of the students or some of the centers in the Setri Afram Plains. And I was asking myself, watch the video.
Let's turn attention to education now. To avoid delays in sending examination materials to hard-to-reach areas in the Ashanti region, the use of drones has been adopted in sending the materials to Setri Afram Plains. The Regional Education Director says the move is to ensure that all candidates, regardless of their location, start the exams on time. Ibrahim Abubakar has been monitoring day 1 of the BECE in the Ashanti region. Joins us with a bit more on this. Ibrahim, good afternoon to you. Let's talk about these zipline drones. Last Friday, WAEC on Ghana Tonight had indicated that they had contracted these contracted zipline to use their drones to dispatch these papers, and indeed it's happening. Talk to us a bit more about that.
So at Setri Afram Plains, which is one of the deprived districts in the Ashanti region, they started the pilot somewhere last year because they realized that around the BECE time it was raining, and this district has only 2 centers. So people had to cross from one community, cross to the examination centers via boat, or they have to cross a river. And this was very challenging for them. So previous years, most students couldn't come and write because of some of these issues. So they then decided to engage the services of Zipline and transport the examination materials to the examination center. So last year they tried it and it worked. And this year, we know we are in the raining season and authorities do not want to take any chances. So they are still adopting it. So this morning, by 7:30, all the materials had arrived to the district capital, which is Dobonso, for distribution. And by 8, it were at the 2 centers, and by 9 exactly, the examination had begun. So that is what they will be doing, because they are not in large numbers. The entire district, only 357 candidates are writing So it was easier for them to transport it via zip line and also send it back. This is what they will be doing. And even authorities are looking at extending it to other hard-to-reach communities so that no one will be left out. And it is an excitement to parents because now they will not have to worry about their children crossing rivers just to go to other examination centers and write. So today, indeed, it has happened, and it's made sure that examinations started on time at these various centers. And the regional director of education, Dr. William Amankra, has been speaking regarding this.
Adrobon, so the number of students writing these exams is about 340. So it's manageable. Last year we used it and it worked to perfection. Because last year we have 2 days to the exams, it rained and we were hot and stacked. So we decided with the WAEC, we decided let us use the drone and it worked. So this year too, we are in the rainy season, so we are not leaving anything to chance. So still, we are using the drone for.
Ibrahim Odiva here. Thank you so much. Ibrahim Abubakar is Ashanti Region correspondent.
When the drone is flying, you see how the drone drops the examination script. Is that how it is done? The zip line, they call it zip line drone or whatever it is. See how it drops the examination script. And I'm asking myself, the reason why this is being practiced is one, because we are in a raining season and sometimes it's quite difficult for the examination papers to get to the centers on time. Two, areas that are out of reach. Does it mean that we have poor road network? Does it mean that our roads are bad? And this directive, it didn't start this year. It started last year, the drone, in some of the regions that are out of reach. But I'm asking, is it because we have poor roads? Because if our roads are very, very good, I don't think we need to invest in a drone. Unless maybe someone is trying to prove me wrong or prove me the other way around, because I feel like, then let's develop our roads. We don't have to wait for the BECE period to come, because the drones, even though it's effective, it saves time. But we would see the cost. It will come and then they will say, this is the amount that they spent on this. This is the amount of money that has gone into this. I don't really understand sometimes. But then I feel like if it is because we have bad roads, one, it's in a rainy season and our road is good, I don't think it should be a problem at all. They can just move as early as possible and then send it there. But if our roads are good and they feel like, okay, Enibiaba, technology, let's use drones, fair enough. Because some students, if we fly the drone through the air, we have students that cross river to the centers. What about those students? The students that are crossing rivers, the students that have to walk about 3 miles or a mile to get to the examination centers, what are we doing about them? We are taking good care of the examination script. What about the students who are... Imagine you wake up at dawn, 2 a.m. to revise all your scripts. And then you have to walk. Exams start at 8. You have to report at the center at 7. But you leave the house at 4 because you have to walk for 2 miles or 3 miles before you arrive at the examination center. By the time you get there, everything you have studied has taken up. Because the drone situation is outlandish to me, but I don't know if they have other explanations to it, fair enough. But moving away from that, there is a guy by the name, this story, I don't know. I don't know if what I think doesn't make sense, or depends on how you are seeing it. A physically challenged individual, his name is Mohammed Yusuf, was seen yesterday taking part in the ongoing BECE certificate by writing with his mouth, as he has only one functioning hand. The functioning hand, I think, is the left hand, and he's physically challenged. So this guy has the pen in his mouth and he's writing. Let's watch the video. When I saw this video, I felt like, one, this guy is suffering. To me, this guy is suffering. Two, we have other ways that we can handle this. Even the camera on this guy, whilst he's using the pen in his mouth to write, is wrong. But I feel like it will mount so much pressure. How come there are individuals in the classroom and then this is the only guy that the camera is focusing on? One, that's a problem to me. Using your mouth, how long, how well can this person write? I've seen people in the comment section argue, say, surely he wrote mocks. He wrote end of term exams. The fact that you wrote end of term exams and you wrote mock doesn't mean that when it's time for the BEC, you have to have the pen in your mouth to write. I raised a concern on Twitter that why don't they do it audio recording? We have a tutor or a teacher sitting in front of this guy. This guy reads the question and then he will answer. If he can use his mouth to write, he can use his mouth to speak. And tell the teacher the answer. Then you assess him based on that. I know physically challenged students, their grading system is a little bit flexible as compared to we that we have both hands and both legs. But I feel like someone using their mouth to write, no, or full stop, na pen minimum. That's my major. I've seen when I stated my explanation, I saw someone telling me, say, if I'm advocating, he should use his mouth to speak, or they should do the exam, they should conduct his examination via audio recording. How is he going to solve mathematics questions? Bro, mathematics questions, then again, he's not supposed to even write. He can, if someone knows is good at something, you would know. See, if someone, even those who can write with two hands, if we are solving a mathematics question, if someone is good and the person knows the answer, you know. The approach, mathematics, we mark approach a lot. If the person sees the question, okay, we have to factor, he tells you that we have to factorize this, we have to do this, take two exponents this to the other side. It tells you that the person knows what he's on and about. But to sit in the exam hall with pen in your mouth, bro, I feel like it'd be too much. And you are writing a paper for 1 hour, 30 minutes, a paper for 1 hour, the pen will be in your mouth. Imagine the people who shade. So you put pencil in his mouth and shade section A, 2024. Whilst this guy can just read the question and tell the teacher that number 1 is A, number 2 is B, number 3 is C. He will put pencil in his mouth and shade section A. Or you cramine. Unless maybe there is an explanation to that. That's why I say maybe people wouldn't understand where I'm coming from. But I feel like this is very outlandish. It's very, very strange. Meaning, who be that? Because how? We need to advance. Back in my SHS, I think my SHS is part of the few schools that we recruit visually impaired students, and we have a center for them. How they write their exams, everything was different. They don't write. Someone who is blind, a physically challenged student who is blind, doesn't write. They do audio recording. So how about somebody like, because the mouth is not a tool for writing, the mouth is a tool for speaking. Therefore, if he can speak, why don't you allow this guy to speak? Now, some boom. We have 2 hands, 2 legs, safe. We sweat in the exam hall. Exam hall have shown me paper before. Someone with 2, bro, if this guy wants to use an eraser to clean, do you know how difficult it is for this guy to clean with an eraser? If this guy wants to sharpen his pencil, he has to call an invigilator to come in and help him sharpen his pencil. If this guy is solving mathematics and it's time for construction, how is he going to fit in the protractor, the compass in his mouth? And oh my God, 2024, construction or the compass, will plug the compass in his mouth with a pencil and do like, what the heck? Ghana will make you see things you are not supposed to see. Things see, people with disability, life is supposed to be very easy for them. But here, we make it difficult for them. Bro, Anka, even these people are not supposed to write the same exams that we are writing. To me, people with disability are not supposed to write the same exams that we are writing. Their scripts should be different. Me, I have 2 legs, 2 hands. See, and if you are studying, you are revising, you have to write your jota. So this person will have to go through all this same process. This person's only jota is the brain. He's not the Liverpool player, but the Jota is the brain. This person will finish and come and sit. He can't even do chew and pour because what can you pour? Sharpener, he has to be in his mouth. Eraser have to be in it. Ruler has to be in his mouth. Physically challenged. If he can't use that left hand, how is this guy going to punch an answer on the calculator? How is this guy going to use a calculator in the exam hall? You finish all, see, this guy will go through all this and finish. No ready jobs. Struggle to enter senior high school. No better school. No better education system. This is the situation we are facing. Put pen in your mouth to write the whole time, 1 hour. And when you are done, and if he goes to SHS, it will repeat. University, same. And you'll finish and then there will be no jobs. Steve, come and create jobs. I don't know where we are heading to as a country, but debi ebeye can be debi it won't work because 2024 the measures that we are exploiting or we are using, to me, it's not it. It's not it at all. 4 legs are finding jobs even they are not even giving us. This person will finish with flying colors and he will be in the house upon all the stress. How well? I can only speak. I can't act. I can only share my thought. This is my thought. You can choose to agree or disagree. But from where I sit, this is how I see it. That's the reality of our education system now. So tell me what you think in the comment section. But once again, all the best to all these BECE candidates. This episode is brought to you by Game Park Games. Yes, *946#. Play the game because 4 million Ghana cedis have been paid to 29,000 winners in just 7 months. Before I go, today is my mom's birthday. My mom, my mother, mommy, today is her birthday. Happy birthday to you, mom. Long life, prosperity. We're going to grab a toast when I get home, you understand? So today, all the party, day, my house, and then my iPhone plug, my new phones today. Yesterday was your birthday, actually. Happy belated birthday to you, Charlie. If you find some phone for me, then we will do some link up, you understand? My name is Ace Kanti. We'll see you another time. We out.